Hey everyone, I am Holly McLaughlin. I'm really happy to be here. I want to say a big thank you to Tam for having me as a guest teacher on Lifebook 2022. And thank you all for being here to watch this taster session. And to show my appreciation, I want to offer you a free mini class that is available on my YouTube channel. So I am coming to you from my home in North Carolina, where I live with my husband, our son, who's 8 years old at the time that I'm filming this, and our two dogs, our cat, and our ferret. So I am a mixed media artist, and ever since I was a child, I've had some sort of creative outlet. And for the past year and a half, that creative outlet has been multimedia painting. And I've really focused on painting intuitively, and I've come to greatly appreciate my creative practice as a means of improving my well being. For me, art is definitely an act of self care, and I've tried to dig deep into exploring ways that I can strengthen those aspects of my process that I find to be the most nurturing and healing for me. But before I talk to you more about the theme of my taster session, I want to share with you all some questions that Tam sent for the guest artist to answer. So let's take a look at those now. Creativity supports my health and well-being because my creative practice is much like a practice in mindfulness for me. It is a way for me to be present, to be in the moment, and to gently silence the mental chatter. I need that mental and emotional space that creativity and mindfulness provide, and I need that as a means of centering myself and waking up to life and helping me to respond to life in a way that feels healthier rather than to get caught up in life and react in a way that maybe doesn't feel so healthy. And I would also say that creativity helps me to notice and to appreciate the smaller moments in life, the subtle beauties in life, moments that I might otherwise miss. What's important to me as an artist is my creative process and reminding myself that the process is what is fulfilling rather than trying to achieve some sort of perfect outcome or product. So, my process is a way for me to explore my inner self and my inner landscape, and so it's a means of self growth for me. And it's important to me that I can share with others how they might develop their own creative process in a way that feels fulfilling to them and helps them grow, not just as an artist, but grow as human beings. One of my biggest struggles as an artist is worrying that I'm not being productive enough and that I'm falling behind. And when I say falling behind, I'm comparing myself to other artists, especially ones who you see on social media who are able to post an amazing new work of art every day or every other day or whatever the case may be. But I know that everyone's process is different and everyone's level of productivity is different. So the way that I deal with it is I remind myself that everyone's journey is different. No one is following the exact same path. And I also remind myself that rest is an important part of the creative process. And taking a break from productivity doesn't mean that you aren't showing up to your creative process. You can do things that fill your well, so to speak, so that the next time you are in a productive cycle, you have inspiration to pull from. So, for example, rest can mean I'm doing a lot of reading, or I'm spending time sitting in nature and I'm actively observing the world around me, or I'm journaling, or taking a walk, or having conversations, all those things can be restful and still be a part of your creative process because they are nurturing to you as a human and inspiring to you as an artist. The skill that I'm always seeking to improve is listening to my inner voice, because that is what will help me create in a way that both my process and the finished product will be more authentic and meaningful and compelling. And I think that will allow the art to resonate more deeply, both for myself as an artist and for those who are viewing my art. I would tell beginning artists who feel that they are struggling to be kind to yourself. Struggle does not mean you're failing or that you're not on the right path. Struggle means that you are alive and you're creating. You're birthing something new into existence. Yes, struggle is very frustrating, but it is a natural part of creativity. Struggle allows us to grow and change as artists. I have found that it's helpful to practice being accepting of the creative struggles and find ways that can help you navigate through. I would also encourage you to remember that every one of us started at the beginning, and we're all traveling our own creative path, and we're all at different points on that path, and that's okay. And no matter where you are, your art is valid. Okay, so for my taster session today, I want to share with you all some ways that I begin a painting with mindful activities. So, in coming to view my creative process as a means of well being and as an act of self care, I have found that beginning a painting with mindfulness has been really helpful for me. It's been a way that I can cue my mind and body from the moment I sit down that I am entering into a creative space and that I'm open and aware and present for whatever energy is coming to me or from me or through me. And it's been a way for me to appreciate that however I'm feeling in the moment, I can start from there. I can create art from that place. And I hope that you enjoy this taster session. I hope that something resonates with you. You don't need any specific supplies. I would encourage you to use whatever substrate feels right for you and choose the tools and colors that you're able to feel the most free and playful with. And I look forward to seeing what you create. If you want to post that in the group, that'd be great. If you don't feel comfortable posting it publicly, please feel free to reach out with me if you'd like to share it. And you can find me on Instagram at HollyMcLaughlin_art. I also hope to see you in the Life Book course, where I can share with you how I complete a painting from beginning all the way to a finished piece, and we can dig deeper into that creative process together. But for now, I hope you enjoy the taster session, and let's get started. I'm starting with a sheet of 300-pound mixed media paper. It is 15 by 20 inches. I like to paint on larger surfaces. It helps me to feel more free to make looser marks and move about. And I've already gessoed the paper. I used Blick Artist White Gesso. Okay, so here we are about to start a fresh new painting. We're showing up for ourselves and showing up for our creative practice. So each time I begin a new piece, I like to make some beginning marks that will invite a sense of grounding calm. Making marks and laying down colors in a way that will help me to feel present and will help me establish a mind, body, and heart connection with the art. So I thought we'd start out by doing some writing using a prompt. The writing prompt I've chosen for today, as we're exploring the connection between our art and our well-being, is I honor myself by. So I encourage you to spend a few moments thinking about how you've honored yourself recently. What acts of self-care or things do you try to do as a means of honoring yourself? Take a moment and then just start writing and see what else may come up as you're writing. So I'm going to use this 9XXB pencil. It's a nice, dark, and soft graphite. And you'll notice that I'm going to be writing large and loosely, and I'm not even putting spaces between my words. And that's because this is less about neat handwriting. We don't need to be able to even read what we've written. It's more about expressing our feelings by taking some time to be mindful and to gain awareness or knowledge about ourselves. And it's about making creative marks in a fun and loose way. Okay. So now that I've filled up the page with writing, I'm feeling that I want to add color in the loopy spaces of the handwriting. That seems like a fun way to add some unique marks on the page. And since I'm feeling that I want to do that, I'm going to trust that my intuition is leading me in the right direction. I'm feeling like I want to use red. So I'm going to use this red China marker. And I'm bringing some awareness into how I'm holding the tool, how you're holding the tool, the intensity of the mark, the patterns that you create, the movement and the energy that you use. All of these things go into creating the message and the feel of your painting. So even these marks in the beginning layers that are likely to get covered, they still contribute to the history of the overall piece and help get the art to where it needs to be. So we've made some marks through writing and through reflecting on how we honor ourselves. Now I want to move into drawing the breath. This is a sort of movement meditation. We're going to focus on our breath and express that movement as a mark on our page. So for this exercise, I want to use a tool that's going to glide around the paper very easily, and also something that's going to stand out from the pencil marks and the China marker marks. So I'm feeling that I want to use a tempera paint stick. So this is called Quick Sticks, and it's marketed as a child's art product, but it has a really lovely texture. It kind of feels like making a mark with lipstick. It goes on really smoothly, and I think it'll work well for the kind of marks that I'm looking for next. So I'm going to start from the edge of the paper, and as I inhale, I'm going to draw a line in one direction, and as I exhale, I'm going to loop around and draw my line in a different direction. So we're following our breath and letting our inhalations and exhalations drive the direction of our marks. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to end by letting the mark run off the edge of the paper. And now that we've filled up the page, the final mindful activity we're going to do in this lesson is a body scan. So we've created these shapes that feel like a container of sorts. Some are large, some are small, some are much more expansive because their edges run off the paper, so we don't know the boundary of those particular areas. So we're going to view these shapes as containers that will let our energy flow through them, and containers that will accept our feelings without judgment. So take a moment to scan your body and notice how you're feeling. What is calling for your attention? Whatever you're feeling, we're going to connect our emotion or physical sensation to a color, and we're offering that to a space or a container in our art. So if you notice that you're feeling a bit worried over something today, where in your body do you notice that sensation? And if that sensation of worry had a color, what color would it be? So for example, let's say that I feel worry in my chest, and it feels like the color is pink. Now, what space on our page calls out to accept that feeling. So I might feel that this space is calling out for the pink. This space feels like an area that I can connect with a sensation of worry in my chest. So there's no right or wrong answers. We're noticing what we feel in our bodies and where, and we're giving that feeling a color, and then we're connecting that with a space in our art by filling it in with that color. Our art doesn't judge what we are experiencing, no matter if we perceive it as positive or negative. Our art can handle it either way. Okay, so now that I've filled in some spaces on my page with feelings and colors, you don't have to fill in every container. I would suggest to keep going until you feel that nothing else in your body is really calling out for your attention. If you feel a sensation or an emotion is calling out several times, you can repeat that color elsewhere around your paper, as I've done. That also helps to bring some visual balance. And, when you take a look back, you can see that some feelings and sensations felt really big in your body. Some felt smaller. Some showed up in different areas. So now I've got some beginning layers that feel very meaningful to me. And they've created a grounding foundation for me to continue painting on. So you can use this as your beginning layers, like I'm going to do, and keep painting on top until you have reached a finished painting. Or you could leave it as is and have more of an abstract. Or it would make really great collage pieces if you were to tear this up or cut this up and use it like that. Whatever you choose to do, I hope that you enjoyed these simple mindful art exercises. And I hope they bring you a sense of awareness and grounding. And I hope they give you a place to start if approaching the blank page can be overwhelming to you. And I'm going to close this lesson out with some time-lapse footage of me building more layers to finish this painting. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the Lifebook 2022 course.